Welcome to my desk, which is conveniently located right in front of my kitchen because I live in an RV and beggars can't be choosers. Also, apologies for the squeakiness of the chair. I can't really do much about that right now. Well, that's annoying. Keith and I have been in Louisiana for a little over a month now. We came here right after Hurricane Ida hit and created a bunch of work for Keith, but he's just about finished up with everything, so now I'm taking it upon myself to look into some fun activities that we could do in the area. And naturally, Louisiana, swamp tour, they kind of go hand in hand, right? And I have an irrational fear of alligators, so what better way to face my fears than to put myself in the alligator's home in the middle of the swamp on a tiny boat. So I've been researching different swamp tours that Keith and I could go on, and during my extensive search, I came across this one. And it's called the Honey Island Swamp Tours. And while it sounds like it's a perfectly reasonable and great swamp tour in itself, there is something very, very, very special about this one. I'll let you guess. Did you guess Bigfoot? Yeah, that's right. Bigfoot. From the Honey Island Swamp Tours website itself. Honey Island has become one of the most well-known swamps because of the real or imagined presence of a creature similar to what others have called Bigfoot. Sometimes known as the Thing by area fishermen, Dr. Wagner, a local wetlands ecologist, simply calls it Wookie. Wookie? Like Chewbacca, my cat's namesake? Needless to say, I'm interested. But this does require, I think, a little bit more research, which puts us where we are right now. So let's see what we can find about Honey Island Bigfoot. Honey Island Swamp Bigfoot. Okay, right off the bat, Google would like for me to know that Bigfoot is one word, not two. So thank you. Okay, Bigfoot. Honey Island Swamp Monster. There's an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to this. Okay, here we go. The Honey Island Swamp Monster, also known as the Cajun Sasquatch, is an ape-like humanoid creature similar to descriptions of Bigfoot, purported to inhabit the Honey Island Swamp in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. Considered unlikely by scientists. Hashtag fake news. The creature is commonly described by alleged witnesses as a large humanoid about 7 feet tall, covered with gray hair, having yellow or red eyes, and accompanied by a putrid odor. Sounds like Keith. Today, the creature is still purported to inhabit the swamp and the bayous along the Pearl River. Local lore tells of a train crash that occurred near the swamp in the early 20th century in which a traveling circus lost chimpanzees who adapted to the environment and offer a potential explanation to the creature's origins. That's interesting, but also fake news. Wow, it has been in a lot of pop culture too. A lot of those shows where they go and try to claim that these things are not real. Also fake news. The first claimed sighting was in 1963 by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller who had taken up wildlife photography. After his death in 1980, a reel of Super 8 film showing the creature was found among his belongings. Oh my gosh. I'm going to find Bigfoot. We've got our coffees and our waters. I'm gonna bring us snacks. So, 1 banana for me, 1 banana for you, and 1 banana for Bigfoot.
One lonely female ape fell desperately in love with an alligator. They created 8-foot tall, half ape, half alligator hybrids. Bigfoots and Sasquatches have been migrating all over the place ever since. That story is true.
It's Bigfoot.
Did you hear the call? Think you can replicate it?
Is that the Bigfoot call?
Yeah. You got it down? We're gonna have to practice later.
Is that it?
No.
Thank y'all very much for coming out and seeing us today. Again, my name is Renee Dupree. If y'all do have any further questions.
I have a suspicion that there's a conspiracy here.
Okay. What's the suspicion?
I don't think they want us to find him.
I know. They hardly mentioned him.
Hardly mentioned him, and even when they did, they made it sound so ridiculous.
Yes.
Which is what you do to make a conspiracy seem like a conspiracy.
Right. You cover it up.
Yeah, you reinforce the conspiracy by conspiracizing the conspiracy.
Yes, they tried to say that chimpanzees mated with alligators, and that's what people think that they see. And that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Bigfoot, very realistic.
I think we need to do some independent investigating.
I think so too.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Well,
Yeah.
spiders on that thing. Okay. Apparently, you have to check in and check out, and you have to record why you're here and what you're hunting.
It's one word. What is wrong with you? Did you just hyphenate it?
Maybe?
I think you're gonna have to call him. I don't know that just waving a banana out there.
Right, well, Keith and I surmised on the drive here that during the tour, the swamp tour, the man was doing a sound, a throaty sound, if you will, like a thunk. Like that.
The choking
He was
sound?
making a sound.
Oh.
Oh. And I think he was warning Bigfoot that we were out there. So I'm gonna try to do it, but I'm gonna try to lure him, you know?
With a banana?
Yeah, and talking in his language.
Why is it always you grunting? Like, do a grunt and an O, like a oh.
Oh. Mosquito. Okay, well, I didn't find him today. I found a lot of mosquitoes and a lot of spiders, which is probably why nobody ever finds him, because he's out there with all of that. So I'm gonna say that this one is unconfirmed. Would you say that that's accurate?
I'd agree.
Okay, unconfirmed.
Their teeth really are made for biting off limbs and stuff. They're made for holding on and pulling you in the water, drowning you. But don't worry, if they can't get you down, they'll death roll and just rip your arm off. Pop it out like a Mr. Potato Head.
Oh my god.